Hello and welcome to another edition of the One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
I'm Kyle. How are you doing today?
I'm fantastic.
Of course you are. I mean, Eagles are going to the Super Bowl again, so that's awesome. But hey, guess
That's
what?
hmm,
Even more exciting than that, we're less than a month away from the kickoff of the regular season of MLS, and
yes,
business is starting to pick up. But yeah, no, I know you're in a great mood today.
I am.
We were down yesterday for the tailgate again. A lot of energy, a lot of excited fans. We got out of the city before it got crazy, but
Yeah.
our good friend Jimmy King was down there, and I saw
Y-
some other people down there. It
Yeah.
looked like a great time.
Yeah, we were down in M-Lot. Yeah, a bunch of our friends who do the Union games were there, so shout out. Besides Jimmy, we had Ptolemy, Cameron, Kyle the baby,
Yeah,
Tristan, John. We had all kinds of people. So that was
it's good
great.
seeing everybody,
Yeah.
chatting with them. And funny thing is, sorry guys, I was watching the game. I was watching the Union's preseason match during tailgate. So,
We both were, although like I think you were like really like into it
oh,
because
I was into it
me as an
though.
Eagles fan, I was like, I
You're
mean,
okay.
I was a little distracted.
But no,
I
it
was
was
still
good.
watching it though.
It was fun. Yeah. So on today's match, a little bit of Union Two news. MLS Next Pro dropped the schedule. So for the regular season. So for all the teams, so we're going to talk about that. Chat a little bit about their preseason schedule, which dropped last week, and yeah, we took a week off. I was under the weather, so I did not have much of a voice, but we had some content out. So.
Yeah, I think as usual, I'm probably giving you all the germs from school. I'm just the typhoid Mary here and passing it on.
But anyway, what are we wearing today?
Well, I am wearing my Kelly Green Saquon Barkley jersey because of course I am. Saquon,
I'm happy for him. Penn
man,
State guy, happy,
yeah.
so happy for him. But
Yeah, it was awesome. And he's going to be playing in the Super Bowl on his birthday. He and Cooper DeJean have birthday on the day of the Super Bowl. So
and I saw
it's
some
amazing.
wild stat. Somebody did their ages, and it like equated to 59.
And it's Super Bowl 59.
Yeah, like everybody's like, oh, it's a sign. It's like, all right. Well, first you got to take care of the rest. Oh, I said it. I said it.
Yeah,
I said
no,
it
we can
now.
all agree. I can't tell you how many people like that aren't even Eagles fans like been saying, well, go Eagles because I hate the Chiefs and I hate that the refs are always on their side or whatever. Like, so
Yeah. Excuse me. So, I'm wearing my Union Dupe shirt.
the JSP one.
JSP, one of my favorite shirts. So comfortable. I like it. Might need to probably gonna end up eventually wearing this out like I did the Pub Monte Carlo shirt.
Yeah, it's a good
But
shirt.
I like it. I
So I
like it.
got you, yeah, I got you that one a couple
You did
like
well on that.
yeah, I did. I that was one of those Christmas gifts I think I got you and it
Yeah.
was like on sale. So
So I love this. But yeah. Oh, where can people find us at?
so you can find us on social media at TOTWAG on Twitter. We're on Instagram and Facebook at the One Team We Agree On. We're also on Blue Sky at TOTWAG. We are on our YouTube channel, The One Team We Agree On. We have our website, the one team we agree on.com. Well, TikTok had that brief, you know, shut down and came back. So,
Are you back on
yeah, I mean,
it?
uh, it was funny because we were at so we haven't recorded a little bit, but yeah, we had my birthday. And so, by the way, the fact that we had a Union game and an Eagles game on my birthday, that was epic. But the funny thing was we're like out for like the night before my birthday and get the thing that TikTok shut down. And then the next day at the Eagles tailgate, we're like, oh, it's back up, But I do have my TikTok channel. It's Jillian underscore Almany. So I haven't really posted much on there lately, but once I start having more content, I will try to be up on that. And we are on a whole bunch of podcasting
Yeah,
platforms at this
so
point.
yeah, so we're on Spotify, Apple, YouTube podcasts. We're on all of them.
And by the way, one reason you might see our podcast like come up twice, episodes on YouTube is because
It's just the way
the
YouTube
audio
works.
ones are like the ones that are like the podcast only.
So we keep them up there because some people have reached out to us and say that they listen to them. I
Yeah.
didn't think it, but I actually see a lot of viewers
Yeah.
that are checking them out. So appreciate that.
Yeah.
We are also now on Amazon Podcasts.
Yes.
So that's a new one. So if you do listen to Amazon Music, you can pick us up there.
You can tell Alexa to play the one team we agree on. Yes.
A shameless plug there.
Yes.
Um,
And we're also now on iHeart.
yes, we got accepted to iHeart, so that was pretty cool. So we are now on the iHeart Radio app. So there again, you can pick us up there. Still working out the kinks with iHeart and a couple of those, but yeah, we hope to be up and running fully. But you can check us out there. So let's get into it. So little start off with some Union 2 news. Preseason, regular season schedule dropped. This
Hmm.
preseason was last week, so we wrote an article of it on the one team we agree on.com.
Yep.
And shout out to you, by the way, what
Thank
before
you.
I record this for this nice little graphic that you put together there.
Thank you.
So yeah, Union have announced that their 2025 preseason schedule, the team will depart on the 2nd
Yep.
for Clearwater. And then they're going to have friendly against Rhode Island. Then on the 4th, then on the 8th, they play Tampa Bay Rowdies. And then on the 14th, they'll play the University of South Florida.
Yep.
Then they return post match to Chester. And finally, on the Union's opening night in Orlando, they're going to be playing a friendly against Westchester SC. So yeah, I mean, thoughts?
So, first of all, I do hope that that friendly versus Westchester is open to the public. That would be great. We don't know, we haven't heard anything
No, we
yet.
haven't heard anything yet.
So that would be cool, especially like because the first team's away, Um, and it's earlier in the day too. So, we have a bunch as we put in the article. There's a bunch of union connections actually, with these friendlies. So
Yeah, so again, we posted this on the one team we agree on, but
yeah,
we'll just talk about it. I mean, with Rhode Island FC, they're defending Eastern Conference USL champs, which lost to Matt Real and
Colorado Springs.
Switchbacks last year in the final. But little Union connection there was former Union staff Carl Spratt and Dave McCabe, both whom are now assistants with Rhode Island FC.
Mm-hmm.
Spratt was the assistant for Union 2 and the head goalkeeper coach for
Yep.
the academy. Um, and McKay served as an assistant and club performance coach.
Yeah.
So,
And not to yeah, and not to be missed, Connor McGlynn was on their squad
yeah,
last year.
last year as well.
Yeah. So Jack McGlynn's brother, for those who don't know.
Yeah, and then Tampa Bay Rowdies, another familiar name,
Yep.
is Leo Fernandez, former Academy midfielder.
Yep. And Damian Lowe spent time there actually.
Yeah,
So definitely some connections there. Then they have University of South Florida.
yeah.
And there's a former Union Academy goalkeeper. Tim Devine is a member of that squad.
Yeah, you didn't see action in 2024, and
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe we'll see some action here preseason, and then
Bookending the preseason
season.
with Connor McGlynn connections here.
Yeah,
So Connor has gone to Westchester SC, and so hopefully he'll get a good fresh start there. And
they're in the USL League One,
yeah,
so
yep. So hopefully, yeah, that's another reason why I really hope we can go watch that because I like to see Connor play.
you don't want to go to Orlando.
I mean, I when I go to Orlando, we also have my sister's baby shower that weekend, so trying to work things out. We'll see.
We'll
We
see.
don't even know if it is going to be open or not.
We don't know yet. But yeah, I mean, there's some exciting matches. We'll definitely be trying to cover as much as we can. I know some of them are closed, so we'll see what, if any, info we get. But yeah, exciting times. And then, of course, today, MLS Next Pro dropped all the teams' preseason
Yes,
things. Oh, you removing the blanket?
my feet are cold.
Oh, okay, feet are cooled.
Well,
Anyway, well, we're definitely gonna
that's it.
warm them up. Oh my gosh, that was a really bad pun. But we're gonna warm up uh
Yeah.
with some more news here. So, going up here, we're gonna check this out here if I can get this going here.
The struggle.
The struggle of the Zoom bar. Yeah, the Zoom bar is not good. So we're gonna stop that. I'm gonna pull it up here. Um, that's the one problem with the Zoom controls on this is when
Hmm.
you share the screen sometimes, other than the little black box. Yeah, not the
Hmm.
greatest. Anyway, all right. So let's go ahead and share now. All right, there we go. So
Okay.
this is the Philadelphia Union's 2025 schedule.
Kicking it off, actually, so March 9th is their first game. It's away at uh New England Revolution 2 playing in Gillette Stadium, and that is the same weekend that the first team is playing also at New England. So if you making the trip up to see that game for the first team, you should stay, because the first team's playing on Saturday, then Sunday, second team's playing. So it'd be great to see both.
So I saw a post from MLS Next Pro News, and I think it was with regards to the Vancouver Whitecaps,
Yeah.
their second team. Some I remember, I forget who it was, told us that the original plan with Union 2 was like with the MLS Next Pro was to have first
Hmm.
team games one day and then the next day. Um, and it sounds like they're doing that this year with some select
Yeah.
teams. That's some select games, and even some people were saying that they're doing like double headers, like
Imagine like if you had, say, the Union playing like an earlier game, and then you have Union 2 play after them, and people could
or
stick
vice
around, or vice
versa.
versa.
Yeah, I was seeing some of those things. I don't know if you saw that too, but like there was a couple comments. I will be honest, I didn't get a chance because of my day to day to dive into this, but
Hmm.
if anybody has, feel free to comment. I am interested in that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's something that could be potential. And we know Don Garber has talked about,
Yeah.
and we've heard about the business partners potentially
Yeah.
joining from some outlets reporting that. I think they're trying to maybe tighten the cost cuts a little
Yeah.
bit. And then maybe that's one of the things, you cheat, and also the rosters and just travel the players. Maybe that's something they're looking at. But anyway, something to keep an eye on.
Yeah. And then, so the home opener for Union 2 is a random Monday. It's on St. Patrick's Day, actually, March 17th. It's a Monday game at 7 p.m. against Red Bulls too. And really kind of sucks that it's a Monday for
Well,
their opener, but
we can combine practice and you can go.
all right. Yeah, I mean, we'll make it work. One of us will
One
hopefully
of
go.
us will be there, and then
They play again that weekend,
yeah,
actually
then
at
they
home
play
too.
against
Inter Miami too.
yep, and then they're at Huntsville on the 28th for a Friday night game. Then they play a Thursday game at on April 10th.
That's at home
Yep,
against
Atlanta
Atlanta too.
too. And then one other thing, and I mean you can see the schedule, it's online,
Yeah, we're not gonna like belabor the point and go through the whole
but then
schedule
they
here,
got
but
two on the road. They played NYCFC 2 and then
hmm.
they're at Chattanooga.
Yeah,
So with the conference, with their conference, they play each of their conference opponents three times. And it's
yeah.
been like that somewhat in the past. But yeah, they're going to play Cincinnati twice. They'll play,
They're playing Cincinnati three
I
times.
mean, three times. Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
NYCFC three times. They'll play Toronto three times. And they play New England three times.
Hmm.
And once again, they have the Carolina Core, and I think they're on the road this year again with the Carolina Core. But yeah, there's a couple teams that only play twice. There's a couple teams that only play once. But yeah, I mean, then they end the season at home on October 5th against NYCFC 2.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of familiar opponents that we've seen in the best. It's not like MLS for those that haven't been there where you play a lot of different teams in East
Yeah.
West. They kind of keep everything to your conference and then maybe some Eastern Conference opponents here and there scattered around.
Yeah, and the majority of their games will be on Apple TV on Season Pass. There's a handful that will be just streamed on MLSnextPro.com on their website.
But I like that you can pick
Yeah.
them up on either MLS or on Apple TV, and that obviously winning the Eastern Conference probably helped them get some of that. But I'm curious to see if Apple's gonna increase their viewership of the second team league. So I think that would be good as well.
I think it would be wonderful if they could allow you to replay the game because that's the problem. You can only see it live on Apple TV.
Right, and like sometimes I don't see as many this year, but like the random 4 o'clock game on like a Friday, like a Thursday, it's
Yeah.
like we're not home in time to recap that. But
Yeah.
it
So
is interesting. Lots of Sunday games, so
get yourself on out to Subaru Park. If you've not been
for
to a Union
sure.
2 game, get there. They've really been trying to build up the fan base there. Bridge Brigade's doing a great job hyping them up, making it really fun. So shout out to those guys.
Yeah,
So yeah, get to a game and there may be like $10 or so to go to it. So, it's worth it. And you get usually a couple free if you're a season ticket member.
correct. And yeah, I don't know if they're doing that again this year.
I mean, that's how it's been the last couple years.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure they'll do it. We haven't
yeah,
heard anything.
yeah,
If anybody has, feel free to pass it along, but we haven't heard anything from our ticket rep.
yeah,
Um, moving on. A little bit more Union 2 news. Giovanni Sakara,
yeah.
getting some minutes with Venezuela U20.
Yeah. Yeah. So they just played Peru,
Chile.
Chile. They're yeah, that's right.
No, no, they
No,
did
they
play
did play
Peru.
Peru.
They
Yeah.
did play Peru. I'm
Yeah, I was gonna
sorry.
say I was
Peru lost to Chile. Yeah, sorry.
yeah,
I
it's
even wrote
okay.
the article. So,
It's okay. So yeah, so Gio played so that was awesome for him. And so and the last we had heard, because we haven't heard anything official, the last we had heard, um, you know, he was still like in negotiations. Now it seemed, he's listed on their roster if you go on the Union 2 website because it only has like the
mm,
people that were, on the roster. It doesn't have a lot of like the academy kids on there or
right,
anything.
the amateurs.
Yeah, so it doesn't have any of them on there. But if you go on transfer marked, the um it shows Gio is signing a new contract you know, with Union 2, but we just haven't heard anything official. So I mean, you can't I don't
Yeah,
know
it's
necessarily.
until the club announces
Yeah.
it, nothing's
Yeah,
official.
so I don't know if it's true or not, but like um good for Gio though. And I do hope things get announced there and that he's back because yeah, I thought he did a solid job.
Yeah, I mean he again they won. He played
Mm-hmm.
80 minutes against Peru U20. Completed 22 of 26 passes, had one key pass during his performance. They'll play again on Wednesday, the 29th against Paraguay U20.
Paraguay.
Yep, Paraguay U20. So, and then I think it's Venezuela and then forget who the other one. No, not
I'm gonna
Venezuela.
say they are
I
Venezuela.
know. It's been a day. Uruguay. I was
Yes.
looking on the schedule. It's like
Okay.
Uruguay, and then I forget who they wrap up with. But
And by the way, speaking of Venezuela, quick shout out to Jose
yeah,
Martinez.
let's talk about that.
Yeah, so with Corinthians,
Hmm.
just yesterday, I saw this after the Eagles had won, so I'm like, man, this day got even better. He had an absolute banger. If you haven't seen it, go look on social media. It's there. Um, I mean, it was crazy banger. Go see it. It was awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy to see Jose thriving down at Corinthians. I know a lot of Union fans still want to see him here, but the fact that he gets to go the opportunity to go to the Brazilian league like that and be productive
Hmm.
and have good games. I mean, and credit to Jose who's been following and giving us updates and just even when I check some of the boxers and like Sofa and Foot Mob, see how he's doing. He's having a decent season, and I'm happy to see him grow and thrive.
Yeah.
And I think Union fans are. I mean, sure, you'd love to see him back here, but at
Yeah.
the same time, he has the opportunity to do something. You got to take it, like I
Yeah.
said
Really
from day
happy
one.
for him.
Yeah, very happy. So we'll continue to follow him.
Yep.
Um, Segue into that. Anything else? Second team to discuss.
So I mean, that pretty much I would say covers it. I am interested to see who is playing with them once they go. So we'll be watching for news on that.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna try to get down to some trainings here.
yeah, and we'll be talking about preseason stuff with the first team, but it's good to see the guys that were, consistently playing with you two, those guys get a good shot with the first team, playing in the friendlies in Spain and everything, seeing these guys get a chance. So
I
we'll
think
talk about that shortly, but
yeah. So let's move on.
yeah.
I think the next thing I want to touch on is a little bit. We just talked about G, Giovanni Sakara. Let's talk now about another international dude. Let's talk about Jack McGlynn quick.
Yes, let's talk about Jack. I mean, wow. Jack McGlynn. We were at our swim meet at University of Maryland. We're on the pool deck and we're watching the game on our phones. And holy smokes, okay, is all I can say. Jack McGlynn, just like if any people didn't know who he was yet, he was definitely making a name for himself on the national scene there. Um, because that ball he hit, maybe I mean, I would say still the goal at DC was even better because the
Yeah,
skill of it, because the angle, we were debating about this, but I'll tell you what, that was an absolute banger from Jack outside the box in this, um, you know, in this game with the national team.
no, I mean I agree with that. I agree with that. And I asked a couple people, and they were like, "Oh, by far the DC goal." No, I agree with that. Just the way that ball knuckled when I watched that from the press
Hmm.
box was just chef's kiss.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, goal and assist,
Yeah.
man of the match. That's one way as a young player to really get those opportunities. And you hear the whole thing, oh, it's can't cupcake, it's like
But not
the
for everybody. This is like where some of these guys can really you show off what they
yeah,
have.
I mean, look at what's his name from Charlotte? Their striker.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, now his name, but I was talking to somebody about him today.
Yeah.
It's Patrick. Oh my gosh.
Um, oh yeah, I always forget how to say his
Okay, people were laughing.
Anjuman or whatever.
Ajimon, yeah,
Or
there we go.
something like that.
Anyway, there's a guy that potentially, I remember listening to some of the broadcasts. He could potentially maybe get a shot
Dude, he
at
was a beast.
one of these games on the bench. You look at some of the other players. Maybe these guys get a view, and I think any opportunity you have to show what you can do with the national team is an opportunity that you need to see. So, regardless of it's maybe not, I mean, who knows what these kids' paths are?
All I can say is I think we should enjoy Jack McGlynn while we can, having him on the Union.
We'll see
See if
again.
he
I
continues
mean,
to
we've
develop the
heard.
way he is.
I mean, you heard prior to camp that, things were cooling off, but hey, who knows, man? That was a good camp. Even the second game, yeah,
Yeah.
he played both games, had an opportunity. And shout out to Todd Lewis, who got to see him play in Orlando. Talked to Todd after the game about that. You saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about the stadium. Sounds like a really nice stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Really, hopefully, we get to check it out as well. But
Yep.
that was really cool. Todd got to see that. But yeah, so that was the first thing, and then just some preseason stuff. We watched both of the games.
Yep.
Um, Overall thoughts. I'll say this: is I take this with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
It's
it's preseason. They're going against, teams that are like way more in season.
yeah,
So,
you go against the Danish Superliga team, and then you go against a team in Slava Prague that had like a Europa Conference League game midweek
yeah.
where they played. I mean, some good competition early season. I mean.
Yeah, so basically you get a chance to see what some of these guys can do, see some different um groupings of them and you know, it was interesting to see the mix of people in there. Shout out to some of these guys that got a start and like played a lot. Like Frankie was getting a lot of time on there.
Yeah.
Some of these other guys like Neil was getting, some good looks. So some of these young guys really getting the opportunity. That was great to see. And watching it, yeah, it's preseason. There's gonna be miscommunications. There's gonna be just,
Blunders.
blunders and things. It happens, but it's a lot of learning. That's what they're there. That's why it's just a friendly. They're, testing out some things. They'd only been playing together, what, maybe a week,
Oh,
if that, and they just, Carnell's trying to figure out, what these players have too. So all in all, I thought, hey, they did a solid job for it being so early, and they're trying to,
I
gel
mean,
together.
what you see is you see the pressing.
Hmm.
You see all the things that we were told we were going to get.
Hmm. Jan Glivinovic.
Yeah.
Okay, and yes, we said this before. Apparently, it is Jan
Yeah.
Blivinovic. I thought he did a good job. He didn't play in the game yesterday,
Yeah,
but
well, do you want to talk about that real quick? So, I
yeah,
guess in the union's article, and I think it was Tansy brought it out, and we were talking about today. There was a thing with, I guess the reason him and Ty didn't play yesterday's match was stress and fatigue.
yeah,
And we've heard from St. Louis City fans
hmm
that, Carnell's practices are very, 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 training's very difficult. Let's put it hard. And you read that and you're like, oh no, it's early in the season. And, people could be like, oh, I saw a couple people be like, oh my gosh, he's running people in the ground rate. I look at that, it's a different system.
yeah,
It's a very intense system.
yeah,
It is. So guess what? You're gonna have those kind of things and they're gonna have to adapt. But it was kind of funny. People were like jumping on that. I'm like, okay, but we'll see. I mean, he kind of talked about that in the one press conference too.
yeah.
Just,
I
I
thought
mean,
Jan did a solid job when he was
yeah,
in.
I thought he did too. The game yesterday, younger kids were playing, second
Yeah.
half defense gave us some poor goals. That one was like they passed the ball,
Yeah.
basically turned the ball over to the other guy. He scored. It was like, okay, what are we doing there?
Quinn got a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the first goal of the preseason.
I mean, overall, I think, you get the opportunity to go to Spain. You play against some good clubs.
Yeah.
You get some bonding and some competition. It's what you kind of need to do when you're
Right.
kind of resetting things and moving on and changing.
Right. Yeah, it is a lot of team bonding. They were doing the go-karts, they were doing all some different experiences. And that's huge, like, for team culture, getting to do some of these things. So
It
it's more than
is.
just the training. It's like when we were in college and going on training trips, you know, during our seasons.
There is that aspect, and then there's also the aspect of, Cornell's really playing these young guys, getting them some experience, whether they play. They're gonna probably play a lot of them with you too, but some of them might be getting some
Hmm
minutes with the first team. So again, it's experience, and I don't know. I look at it as, hey, there's some things to be positive of, and there's some things to still say, okay, we got a long way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And um, just to wrap that up a little bit, who would you say stood out to you the most with watching these games?
I mean, I liked John. I
Hmm
thought he looked good.
Yeah.
What about you?
I thought Neil was really good.
He had his
I did good.
moments,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, Neil was doing pretty well.
Nice. That first game had some nice long balls.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So I think that was a big one for me. Um, it was just interesting to see how the center backs were working together there.
Yeah,
Seeing Mikanya get a chance, and I mean, we saw him play plenty with Union too. I mean, it was just kind of like the same, you know.
yeah, and
It was okay.
I'm really not worried that the forwards aren't getting scoring any goals yet.
Yeah.
And we'll wait till we get into the season to see that. I
Yeah.
mean, there's just a lot of things, but I thought Young was good. But at the same time, there's an opportunity, and again, um, without really having to go back and rewatch it, the,
Yeah. Got to see Isaiah LaFleur play
yeah,
finally.
he looked okay.
Yeah.
Looked like he hadn't played in a year.
Yeah. But what I want to know is what's up with Nate Harriel?
Yeah, so I've had some people ask me that.
Yeah, and no
We
one,
asked, no one
nobody asked
knows.
in the press conference, so I think someone's gonna need to
Yeah,
if we don't
that's
hear
a question
anything.
for the presser.
Yeah.
The other one was Bizo has a knee. I know that. I
Yeah.
totally I was talking to somebody, I was like, I wonder what's going on. And then like, yeah, and I totally remembered that. So there
Yeah.
was that. So it's just some wear and tear preseason stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, um, that's kind of just a wrap on this week. I know it's not a very long episode. Do you have
Yeah.
anything else to add? We got a lot more kits leaks.
Still nothing for the union.
No.
Come on, I want some kit leaks. Give me something. If anyone listening to this knows anything about the kit, if you have any like inside information, reach out to me. You can DM me or whatever. I can keep it anonymous. Just, hit me up. Let me know.
Yeah,
Uh,
we did
we've
see that. I'm
pieces.
interested in this Goosebumps kit, but
Dude, that's it. Look, okay. I could
okay,
say
that's a concept, but is it the real thing?
if
Because
that's real, like
could you imagine having the Charlie Brown and the beep kit? I know it's
it looks
slime
like something
else. Yeah.
else. And
Yeah, this is a PG show. Um,
yeah.
but
Okay, and we're gonna do a kit review once everything's officially out. And I have thoughts.
I have thoughts on the Cincinnati kit.
I have thoughts on a whole bunch of them, but yeah,
Yeah.
cannot wait to review the kits.
Whew, yeah, that's some good ones. Hey, and then also, hey, and we'll put this out here. If you're not doing anything on, I guess it's the 8th of February.
Oh yes,
Um,
the day before
Sons
the
of
Super Bowl.
day before Super Bowl, Sons of Ben are going to be doing their Help Kick Hunger again.
Yep, at Broken
A
Goblet.
goblet. We went
Yeah,
last year. We'll probably be there again. It's an awesome time.
yeah,
Music, giveaways, raffles.
it's for a good cause, and
That's the thing. That's
yeah,
why we're talking about it because it's for a really good
they're
cause.
gonna have a Union 2 jersey on for the raffles.
So if you want to get a Union 2 jersey, there's your chance.
You're gonna have to fight me for it though. I'm just kidding. Um,
I'm
no,
shaking my head, everybody,
but
because
no,
it's like,
I'm
okay.
sure it's gonna be the one of the ones that's like a silent auction that you got to bid on. Because if it was an actual just raffle tickets, I'd be like tickets, all of them in the one.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's a nice kit, but you know,
Yeah. Um,
what the union really need to do, and we'll keep saying this, is they need to do what North Texas did, sell the freaking jersey.
like I'm
Think
literally
about the
telling you,
money.
take my money. I will buy one. I like the kits. I like to collect the kits.
Yeah, so you at least sell one here.
Yeah,
Um,
you will. Yeah. Or if anyone has a hookup on a kit, I will take one too.
and moving on. So, that's about all for today. So we'll be back. We're gonna have some more guests coming up. We're lining some people up,
Yep.
and we'll have some articles coming out this week or next week. Probably have a
Yep.
week recap as the news breaks.
Yep.
So yeah. Anything else for today's show? We just wanted to kind of have a
Yeah.
little weekly touch base, kind of talk a little bit about everything. Obviously, with preseason games, it's kind of like,
Yeah, I know. I think it's this weekend. It's Saturday. Sons of Ben are also doing the polar plunge thing,
yeah,
which coincidentally we're going to a swim meet that's called polar plunge. That
penguin
weekend's
plunge.
penguin plunge. Well, it's actually just a swim meet.
Funny story. So I had 3 kids today that are swimming in that meet. They're younger, newer kids, and people are gonna laugh at this. And they're all like, "Coach Kyle, is the meet gonna be outside?" They're like all worried
Oh, I have.
because they
Yeah,
were like, "It's called the penguin plunge," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's
it's just
because
called that.
it's called because it's in winter." And they're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, but why would they call it that if it wasn't outside?" I'm like, "No, it's inside, guys."
Yeah, there will literally be one of the parents dressed up like a penguin, like walking around the meet, like one of the parents from Upper Perkiomen. No, and actually, I had a swimmer who's missing the meet because they scheduled plans or something. They thought that it was actually like a polar plunge kind of deal, like event, not a swim meet. They got confused. So yeah, but those yeah
Swimming, coaching developmental kids, everybody. I'm sure some of you can relate.
yeah
It's fun. It's
yeah it is.
rewarding.
Yeah, we love the kids. They're great, and so yeah, that's
That's all we have for today.
yeah,
So
pretty
this
much.
is this episode is the one team we agree on.
Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, follow us on our various social medias, and comment. We love hearing from you. Keep in touch, spread the word, and honestly, we appreciate each and every one of you that tunes in and engages with us. Yeah, it really means a lot.
Yeah, until next time, I'm Kyle.
I'm Jillian.
We'll see you at the game.